Hello everyone, my name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Hi everyone, this is editing Chris in the future from when this was originally recorded. As I was doing the editing in here, I noticed that there was two major things. One, I had to re-record a section because I didn't like the way I recorded it, so you'll see that later on. The other one is right here at the beginning. I have to mention that this album was mostly recorded live from January 25th through the 27th, and then again on February 28th in 1978 at the Hammersmith Odeon in London, UK. And then October 30th and 31st, 1977 at the Palladium in New York City. There were extensive overdubs on this. Basically, the way to look at it is the live recordings were the foundation for it. And then basically Zappa built off of those to strengthen it up into a solid song. Personally, myself, I would never, ever in a million years classify this as a live album. I don't think it should be classified as a live album. So I just wanted to input that in here. Other than that, any other things where I need corrections, stuff like that, you know how it goes. Except for the one other section I had to totally re-record, which is a song called Bobby Brown Goes Down. Alright everyone, out of all the albums I own, there was only one I classify as being cursed, and that is Frank Zappa, Sheik, Yerbouti. I love the clever little wordplay on that one. It's spelled to sound like Sheik, your booty. Not your booty, your booty. As if it's an actual, middle. Anyways, okay. So, cool little Middle Eastern kind of vibe going on there and whatnot. Anyways, the reason I call this a cursed album with me is this is my second copy, personally my second copy. It is the third copy I've had regularly go in and out of my possession. And I'll explain. My dad got me into Frank Zappa. This was the album he actually used to get me into Frank Zappa. And I used to borrow his album all the time. Then him and my stepmom got divorced and I lost access to that album. Bogus. So I had to buy my own copy. No problem, I happily did. Then I lent my copy out to a friend who borrowed it, never returned it. So I had to go out and buy another copy. Now, this one has just taken countless falls. Just from me grabbing it and slipping and falling or whatever. It's taken countless falls. And it is shattered and it is broken. And it's beat up. And the outside case already needs to be replaced completely. But I didn't realize until significantly later that the copy I had bought had defects in the CDs. There's little bubbles in the CD that I didn't notice until later. And the bubbles are on the last two songs on the album. So I have to buy yet another CD. Why did I not return this one when I found out? Well, easy answer on that one is I didn't keep the receipt and I seriously didn't open the CD for like a month after I bought it because I bought it just to put it as a replacement into my collection. I kind of wasn't happy about buying it. So I'm going to have to buy it for yet a third time. So yes, it's cursed with me. But I love this album. I will happily buy it a third time. Not happily, but I'll buy it a third time. All right. This album, one of the things that makes this album so great is the way that everything just kind of flows into each other. It's like you're going through this giant continuous story on this album, with a few little breaks here and there. Nothing major, but a few. The one thing I do complain about with this album is there are little kind of interludes, we'll call it, in here. They're usually preceded by a little xylophone kind of play, and then it'll kick over to them having some little talk up behind the scenes or whatever. I'm not fond of those so much. Sometimes they work really well. Like when, it's done on Joe's Garage, it was great. Because it was continuing on the story. When it's done on here, it's done kind of to me as space filler. This also, back in the day, would have been a double vinyl. The songs on here are way too long, maybe. I mean, really tight. I'd have to, I should check that on the computer, and I'll let you know on the computer here on the side. So let's get this. The album opens up with "I have been in you, baby, you have been in me, and we have been so intimately entwined." And it sure was fine. Just great little doo-wop thing to open up this whole thing. Wonderful. And then I love it to pick up on, "I'm going in you again. I'm in you again. I'm talking to you." And then it just gets into this great little kind of rock thing going on in. And then from there it goes into Flakes. Now, I don't want to say that Flakes is one of my all-time favorite songs, but Flakes is definitely up there, and I love the humor, the witty satire to this whole album. This whole album is just beautiful, witty satire, and Flakes is this beautiful shot at the American way turning into something, going from making something grand and wonderful to everything is just this cheap, shitty, disposable crap now. And this is Zappa back in the late 70s. What was this? 70, 79. This album was released. So, theoretically he was working on recording it when I was in utero. Anyways, then from there we go on to Broken Hearts Are for Assholes. I like Broken Hearts Are for Assholes. It's a good song. Just, yeah. I guarantee there was one guy in the band crew whose woman screwed him up and left him. I mean, if you've listened to Joe's Garage, I'm pretty sure. And, this was Frank's going, dude, Broken Hearts Are for Assholes. After that, you're in I'm So Cute. Look at the vanity, we'll say, of... I look at the vanity of the modern male and how it's all becoming image-based and whatnot. I mean, women are always about image, right? But guys started becoming about image. Guys were no longer about being manly and burly and stuff like that. They're about being pretty boys kind of thing. So, that's kind of where I look at it with I'm So Cute. Jones Crusher, believe it or not, Jones Crusher is the first song on this album I'm really just not a fan of. It's okay. Yeah, doesn't do anything for me. Then you got Whatever Happened to All the Fun in the World. This is one of those little interludes. It lasts about 33 seconds. It's a thing. Then you got Rat Tamago. Rat Tamago, sorry. And this one is a great little instrumental piece. Totally get into it. I love when it's just doing his thing. Guitar sounds wonderful in it. Wait a minute. 31-second interlude. All right, so I want to address the issues with Bobby Brown. On the album is Bobby Brown. On the CD, which is how I know it's Bobby Brown Goes Down. And at the surface, the song is incredibly homophobic. It definitely uses some nasty slurs that by today's standards are absolutely horrible. By the standards, even back in the day, they weren't exactly great. The F-bomb isn't used, but the D word for lesbians is, I don't know if that's considered a no-no or what the heck on that one. So I'm just going to avoid it. There are other words that are used in here. To me, the song is actually more about guys that were in the closet and were so deeply in the closet that they were horrible people, and it took someone bringing them out of the closet to make them less of a horrible person. It's that cliche of that guy on the football team, the uber jock with the big muscle car that's really shiny and he looks all pretty and blah, 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 blah. And all the girls are, oh. And then there's a part in there where, he specifically says that he's going to have the head cheerleader do his homework. And then later he's going to take unrighteous advantage of her. So the dude's a douchebag. And then, he comes across this one woman where the slur is used, whose name is Freddie, and she puts him in a vice and does horrible stuff to him. And now he after that moves along into the world of homosexuality. And once again, like I said, there's definitely some stuff said in there that is definitely homophobic. I'm not going to dance around it. But that's by today's standards. I mean, by the standards back in the day, it was as well, because there's only in the sense that there's some nasty stereotypes in there, really. That's what it is. It's the nasty stereotypes. And I'm not gonna do that was back in the day, try and defend it. There's my computer talking to me. I'm not gonna try and defend it. It's not appropriate by today's standards. However, that being said, I absolutely laugh my ass off every time I hear this song. It is a really funny song, and it really is. To me, it's got its fingers on the pulses. The satire in this song is just insane. Anyways, I've talked about this longer than the song actually is. Then you got Rubber Shirt. This is another instrumental piece, kind of cool, I guess. You got the Sheik Yerbouti Tango, which is alright. Then we're into Baby Snakes. Baby Snakes is a fun song. It is. It's just a fun song. That's the best way to put it. It's a short song, but it's really fun, man. It's just absolutely great. Then we get into, honestly, one of my favorite Zappa songs. My dad was a huge one onto this one, too. And me and my dad like it for different reasons. My dad really loves the first half of the song. The whole I'm only 14 and, trying to grow a chin, and then his dad pushes it back in and tell me, why do you have to push it back in? I love the second half of the song because it is so uplifting and patriotic, and this great sense of and all it is over is, I wanna be dead in bed, please kill me, cause that would thrill me. I wanna be, and when you listen to the lead vocalist as he's doing his little ad-lib lines, you can picture him kind of dancing across the stage in a way, you got like a big giant American flag behind him, sparklers going off everywhere. It's like this whole James Brown kind of shtick, man. You got a picture like James Brown kind of shtick going on, man. It was just a great little shtick. And then, he's on a breath, and he drops to his knees, and he's down there, and he's like, all right, everybody, one more time for the world. And he jumps up. I want to be dead when bad, please kill me. And it sounds horrible, but when you listen to the whole song and the way the song plays out, I get it, man. This song is so dark and twisted and brilliant at the same time, man. It is just so much fun. And I one of those songs, there are very few Zappa songs where I've ever said I've wanted to flat out cover it. That is actually one of the ones I've always wanted to cover. Okay, and then from Trying to Go to a Chin, that goes into City of Tiny Lights. Oh, don't you wanna go? Hear those daddies at home. Now, as a kid, I wasn't into this song as much. This one I didn't like so much as a kid because it always, just because of those singing voices and stuff like that, it always kind of felt like it was more like, I was more into Cheech and Chong at that time, so this kind of felt like it was kind of like trying to be too serious to be Cheech and Chong to me. But as an adult, and I understand it in a more mature context, not really, but we'll pretend, it totally makes sense. I love the song. It is actually one of the songs I definitely much prefer listening to on the album now. Dancing Fool. Don't know much about dancing. That's why I got this song. One of my legs is shorter than the other, and both of my feet too long. I got no sense of rhythm. Wait, I got natural rhythm. And I go dancing every night. Hoping one day I'll get it right. I'm a dancing fool. Ah, dancing fool. Ah. Can't help get off my feet because I'm a dancing fool. Great fun song, man. Total Muppet mode if you can't tell. Total Muppet mode. And from there we go into Jewish Princess. Okay, so a little anti-Semitic, just a little smidge, possibly just a touch. Definitely way more misogynistic than it is anti-Semitic. I'll tell you. Let me tell you, man. I don't believe Frank Zappa could truly ever be racist or extremely prejudiced or anything like that. Now, you see an album like this, and you hear a song like Dancing Fool, you're going to think, whoa! I mean, not Dancing Fool, Jewish Princess, but whoa! But no. First off, Frank Zappa, not actually Muslim from my understanding. Also not Middle Eastern. My understanding is he was Greek. If I'm wrong, the thing will correct me. But Jewish Princess, man. This isn't necessarily even anti-Semitic because I've heard just normal white girls referred to as Jewish princesses. It's a mentality, but this song just, oh my god, the misogyny that drips off this song is fucking great. Absolutely fucking spectacular. Then you go into Wild Love. Wild Love is... Wild Love's okay. I don't mind Wild Love. For me, really, the album always kind of ended at Jewish Princess. Which is funny because I mentioned the two bubbles that are in there. Okay, now, I love listening to this album the whole way through. It was just, Wild Love was kind of okay. It wasn't anything spectacular, especially compared to everything else on this album. And then Your Mama is a giant, long, instrumental jam, basically, at the end of the song. Yeah, there is a little bit of vocalization on it, but it's so minimal that it's easier to call it an instrumental jam. And the jam is really cool, but it feels weird being tucked in at the end of the album to me. Anyways, that's what I think of Frank Zappa's Sheik Yerbouti. This, you gotta go. If you're looking for an introduction into Zappa, if you were a guy and you were looking for an introduction into Zappa, this was my introduction, so I'm going to say it's not a bad place to start. You know, I am still, after all these years, excessively happy with it, still excessively enjoy it. I think it's a fantastic album. And I'm happy to put it on my MP3 player and listen to it the whole way through still to this day. Let me know what you think of this album. That's what the comment section is for. Leave me a comment, tell me what you think. While you're on the way down there, you'll see a link that'll take you to Patreon. Feel free to go over there. You can throw me a few bucks. I do have a locals coming. I still am working on the whole details for it, trying to get it set up perfectly. There's a like button, a subscribe button, a little bell for notifications. Please hit those. They help me out. They help you out. They help me out. Peace, love. Take care.